Hello, hi, welcome. I can only snap with my right hand and not my left hand because I'm right-handed. Anyways, welcome to the video. A new book video. Look at that stuff. Today we are gonna talk about a few books that are in the same kind of vibe as the Childish Gambino song. Nobody gives a F word. That one. So before starting, I enjoy Childish Gambino's work. Big fan of that creator. And this is their last album they announced. They're not gonna do anything more, at least in the Childish Gambino name. And, you know, more power to them. I bet they're gonna do awesome stuff, whatever they keep doing, because they're so talented in all other spectrums and have different things that they want to do. So we're gonna talk about a few books that gives me nobody gives a F word F word vibes. And yeah, that song, funny enough, when I heard it the first time, I did not recognize that it was Childish Gambino who sang the song. And then later I was like, oh, because I listened to it. I think it came up on my Spotify or something, like recommended to me. And I'm like, that's a good song. And then I found out later that it was Childish Gambino song. And also I watched the music video to that song. And the end of the video, that shot, the imagery, this has not left my brain. So therefore I'm gonna make a video about this, but talking about books. So grab your snack, grab your tea, and let's enjoy the ride. Okay? So first book that I recommend is tada! The Old Man and the Sea. This is a thin one. Small book, easy to bring with you, light. This is an old classic. This takes place back in the days. There's this old gentleman who's trying to get a good catch, a big catch, fishes and stuff. And then they go through such hardship and so much shit, basically, trying to achieve this. I wouldn't say that it's an inspiring story or maybe not so much determination, but it's just so, it's like reflective. Like this person goes through so much all by themselves, nobody gives a F word about them, and they're doing anything to survive and to live and to make it back with this big catch. It really makes you reflect on the situation and what is the cost and what is it worth, and how maybe we don't want all that greatness, you know? Maybe we are good just the way we are. Maybe we don't have to reach for the stars. Or what happens when we reach for stars and we get what we want? Will we get it or will we not get it? What is that Coldplay quote from the song? You get what you want but not what you need, right? You get what you want but not what you need. So this is giving me huge nobody gives an F word. I recommend this book. This is an old book written back in the days. There are some racial words used in it, shows its age, but it is, I wouldn't say a lovely time, but it is a really interesting book, easy reread, small book to bring with you, reflective, and nobody gives an F word. The Old Man and the Sea. Yes! Next book, book number 2. Yes! Ta-da! Almond! This book! Yes! This is also a novel, a bit thicker compared to the last one. This is a South Korean or Korean novel, and it takes place in South Korea. And it's about this main character who has a certain conditions that makes them not being able to feel emotions as other people do. So it starts out with a really traumatic thing that happens to them in a young age, and then that kind of theme carries on within the book, and you follow this character through their teens and how they are really isolated and by themselves, because once again they don't connect with the human emotion aspect. Like they are the odd one out. Nobody gives an F word. Great book, interesting characters. He does meet up with other characters, forms really odd friendship. It's kind of heartwarming but also sad at the same time, and it's a great book. I just highly recommend it. It's awesome. The stuff the main characters go through is like nobody gives F word. Easy read, big text. I think I finished it in 2 readings, but I didn't want to put it down because I enjoyed it so much. And if you enjoy the imagery of Korea or South Korea in this aspect, this will be right up in your alley. It's sad, but also heartwarming. Made me kind of tear up, but great book. Characters go through stuff and evolve and change, and nobody gives F word. Almond, highly recommend. Yes. Tragic loss, emotions, all the good stuff. With a character who can't feel emotions. There are emotions in the book, believe it or not. And read it to the end. It has some really heartwarming stuff in the end of this book. So make sure to take your time in the end with this book, because it's beautiful. Okay, next book number 3. Ta-da! This one, another South Korean one. Ta-da! This, I want to die, but I want to eat Tteokbokki. I'm sorry for butchering it. First of all, this cover, can we just appreciate this cover? And also how this is just giving mood. I want to die, but I have to eat food, you know. I want to eat food instead of dying. Isn't that a mood? This is about a character and their notes and their experience going to a psychiatrist, I believe. It's a therapy memoir, you can see up here. And it's very much back and forward, them talking to the psychiatrist and explaining things and stuff. For psychologists, I'm not sure what the word is, I'm sorry. The character says that they're sad. They're just in the blues, they're sad. And they are seeking help and talking because they feel sad. They feel the sadness. And that's it. The character feels very isolated and by themselves, and you know, the feeling of nobody gives F word. This book is really easy to read. It's much back and forward. This person says this, the other person says this. This. A, B. Very dialogue heavy. I read this in one go from start to finish. This was one of the first books that I actually bought when I got into reading again. This was one of the first books I bought because this cover was like wow, and the title was like oh wow. Right up my alley. So this is kind of like a moody book talking about stress and anxiety and that stuff. Very approachable, easy read. When it comes to the text, it's not too hard to understand. It's very much vocal speaking almost. I mean, it is a book, but it feels like people are speaking in the room. So if you want something straightforward that talks about sadness, feeling odd one out, depressed, existential. This is it, baby. Nobody gives a F word. Yeah, highly recommend. Once again, just make sure that you know that this is a moody book. It can come off as the main characters just complaining about their life and that stuff, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting, and to have a look into this person's life and hear what they have to say about their life in South Korea and living up to the standards in their society and all that stuff. So there you go. Another great book recommendation. And look how it's not thick, it's an easy read. You guys got it. You got it. You got it. Yeah. I have one more book that is kind of a bonus book. So far, all the books I have shown you guys are novels. Just one book, text, reading, no imagery. This one is manga book. Let me flip it for you so you can see. It's a face. Wow. This is Tokyo Ghoul. I have talked about this before in my top 5 manga books of all time video. I might have mentioned it in some other ones. I think it actually was on, I was reading into INFJ books because I'm an INFJ, and they recommended Tokyo Ghoul, which I'm like, I have read that. And I enjoyed that. Anyways, without further ado, Tokyo Ghoul manga, which means it's a comic with imagery, and it's Japanese. This is a Japanese copy of it, so Japanese writing in it, but you can get it in English and whatever native language you can access it in. The main story is about a character who has a very tragic fate. They even tell you in the beginning of like the first chapter that if I was the main character of the story, it would certainly be like a tragedy or something like that in that sense. And this character is very much by themselves, isolated. They make friendship and meet other people along the way, but they go through so much shit, and it can feel like nobody gives a F word. Feels that inside of you. Like you don't want others to suffer, you rather suffer yourself. It's kind of like that mental, I wouldn't say torture, but like there's a lot going on there. And how this person starts off at a certain place and then changes throughout the manga. It's about a normal person who becomes a cannibal. They become a ghoul, which is that you eat people. It has a supernatural thing in it, but it takes place in Japan. It's pretty dark, pretty grim, go through a lot of stuff. It is 14 volumes. This is number 14, so it's the last one. Each manga book is kind of like this length. Once again, imagery, text bubbles, not so much to read. It's a combination of reading and looking. There's also an animated show and stuff about this. I can just recommend it. It's sad as fuck. Nobody gives an F word. Yes. You can also see in my backdrop here that I have a Tokyo Ghoul guy back there. So yeah, nobody gives a v. That's all the books I have for this that's giving that vibe. So thank you so much for watching the video. Any Childish Gambino fans out there, you know, holla. I have a hard time seeing that Childish Gambino or Donald Glover, the actor, musician, writer, comedian, I have a hard time to see them stop making music, but they have so many other projects, so I bet whatever they decide on focus on, that's it, you know? And I think it's so cool also that they're so versatile and doing all this stuff. You never really know exactly what to expect, and the way with their music, for example, how they play around with sound and the voices, so cool. But yeah, little Childish Gambino talky talk. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this, please subscribe and give the likes. And I will see you guys in the next book video. Right now I'm trying to get a hold of Kafka on the Shore, a Murakami book. I've been in the queue for it with my library for a couple of weeks now, as it as an ebook. So I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of it actually tomorrow. I'm gonna head to a library and see if I can get the physical book and read it, because I've been in the waiting queue for quite a while, and I would like to read it in order to make the INFJ book video for you guys, which is fun. So that is coming up. Anyways, long outro. Take care, stay safe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.